Welcome to another sweet edition of my podcast, Ordinary Podcast. This is the podcast where we share the human experience, human stories, whatever it is that is going on in our lives. This is where we share it. Whatever we are musing on, this is where we come to talk about it. And really, one of the things going through my head today is permanent voters card 2027 election. I was talking to one of my friends, and this is me also dragging him because it annoys me so much. This whole conversation of your votes does not count. The process is too long, it's stressful, there's no need, everybody should just stay at home. I understand the voter apathy, I understand the political apathy. We have all been there. I have been there too. And I also understand how cynicism have crept into Nigerian politics, especially when it comes to the youths and their participation in politics. I've been there, and one thing that dragged me out of that place was realizing that no matter how cynical I want to be or apathetic I want to be when it comes to governance and politics, my life is being ruled by these people. My life is being decided by these people. How my life is going to look like. Yes, I have the best plans, I have to-do lists, I have goals. How my life is going to look like is decided by these people. That whole statement of after God, now government own your life. You never really understand it until you think deeply about your life. Right? I was talking to a 20-year-old and I was like, you are old. Do you have a PVC? And she said no. I'm like, but you're old enough. You're 2 years into being old enough to voting. And she said that she doesn't like voting. She's not going to be voting for anybody, that she'll just stay at home that day. And I could just see the naivete, I could see the ignorance that riddled her eyes and her body, because it's like, you don't like voting? Who likes voting? Who likes voting? Who likes choosing someone that would lead them? Everybody would love to lead by themselves. Everybody would love to be the one that makes the decisions for their lives. But the world has been shaped for you long before you were even born, especially you listening to me. It's been centuries. And where we are at now in the world is that you have to choose who leads you. You have to choose. So whether you want to be led or not, someone is still going to lead you. Someone will bring their good or bad intentions in leading you. I realized that I was part of politics, whether I participated or not, whether I wanted to be active or passive about it. And so people just complain, or people think that politics does not matter because the only thing they think that it ever affects them on is when it comes to food, water, electricity. Oh, there is no light. Oh, the roads are bad. Oh, there is no food. Oh, there is no water. I can't go to the market and use my 50k and buy something reasonable. That is mostly the part where they think that politics plays a role. But politics plays a role in every aspect. And because a lot of the people, especially you listening to me now, the only thing that you're seeing that the government is doing bad in is money wise, road wise, food wise, etc. There are other people that are undergoing insecurity. Because you haven't experienced insecurity, kidnapping or banditry, because you haven't lost a person to the brain drain happening in the country, doctors jabbing, hearing and knowing that one patient is to 8,000 doctors in Nigeria. That is, there's a very big likelihood that you would walk into a hospital, a government hospital, and you would not be attended to. Or even if you're attended to, the doctor that meets you is cranky, frustrated, because they're not even paying the doctor, and the doctor is tired because they did a whole 24-hour shift the previous day. Getting sick in this country is a disaster, because your healthcare is not funded. Being pregnant in this country is a disaster, because there's a big likelihood that this woman can, die from hemorrhage, from bleeding. Understanding that there are a lot of things that could be prevented life-wise, because you haven't experienced how the government directly affects your livelihood, the fact that you might not live again, is what I think makes people think that the government does not have, any power on them. Just because, you don't have food, but you can, look for food anyways, or yes, the inflation is hitting, but at least you have work in Abachi, like you can still cover yourself up. It doesn't mean that you're okay. It doesn't mean that the life you're living is normal. It doesn't make it comfortable. Do you wait until you see the dire consequences of being apathetic in this country? Do you wait? Do you want to wait to see it? People are going through severe traumatic experiences because of the political system in the country. A child that decided to go write her JAMB or his JAMB examination, UTME, kidnapped on the road. If you're the parent of that child, either you get angry or you get really passionate about voting out these people. So just because you haven't experienced things that are dire in the country, it doesn't mean you can survive in the country. Let's talk about international passport for a moment. In the year when was it that I wanted to apply for my passport? I wanted to get my passport. It was just last year. Let's say around April, May. I wanted to get my international passport, and it was 50k. And I was like, I had that 50k, but I was just like, I will do it later, procrastination, and, thinking that, you would use that 50k for something else. So I procrastinated. I was just like, I'm going to use that 50k for something else, probably like ending of the year when I have much more money. I'm going to, apply. Tell me why the Minister of Interior, Olubumi Tunji Ojo, decided, I think around August, to double the price of getting your international passport. 5 years, as of early 2025, was 50k. As we were ending 2025, it was now 100k. 10 years became 200k. And I was just shouting, yelling, screaming, oh my God. There is no breathing moment. And Nigerians need that international passport. It's not even as if you get it and go outside the country, they will still not, marginalize you or discriminate you because you have a green passport. But still, that one thing that I can use to do other things, to like better my life, you still don't want me to, have access to it. How many Nigerians can afford that? At least the average Nigerian. How many Nigerians can afford that? We are living in a country where people go to the market instead of buying fresh tomatoes to cook their meal. They're looking for spoiled one because that is what they can afford. And let's say you were trying to be wicked by increasing the prices of the passport so that people will not japa or migrate or whatever. What if I don't want to migrate? What if I need that passport because I have like a fellowship outside of the country, a program outside of the country, and it is fully funded and I can't afford that 100k? What happens to me? He said that the reason why he increased the price was for a swifter, faster, easier getting of the passport. And while I agree with that, I've started my international passport application. And I don't know about like other people, but I've heard stories of how, allegedly maybe, of how you have to wait for months to get your passport. Do you know that you can... Hey, I mean, this is not news, but I'm just going to say it here. that same ministry that handles immigration, passport and everything, these people, you pay your 100k and you would have to wait maybe like 6 months, a year, to get your processing, even while they have made it swifter. But do you know that if you pay extra to an agent or someone that works there that can help you with your passport procession, you can get it in a day? I know somebody, they wanted to do for 5 years. 5 years is 100k. He had to pay 200k to get it under 24 hours, and they did it for him. Meaning that if there was no bribery, if there was no corruption, if everybody was up and doing, if I apply for my passport today, I should be getting it in a week. At least in a week, it should be ready. But not only did you increase the price, I have to still go behind if I want to get my passport fast. The same reason why you doubled the price of the passport. It is appalling to me. It does not make any sense. Flying used to be an elite activity. It was for the select few, the privileged. But I promise you, flying now, every Tom, Dick, Harry is flying, because number one, they have to give their whole salary, their whole life savings to fly. And it's not out of pleasure or comfort or class. Now it's all about survival. It's knowing that if I ply Nigerian roads, there's a big possibility the next time you guys will be hearing from me is from the kidnappers den, the banditries den, the bandits den, right? That's the next time you'll be hearing from me. Flying is no longer for some people. It's for you that have saved your money and you know you don't have money for ransom. That is why a lot of people fly now. And I can remember in the year 2021, my airfare to Abuja from Anambra was 60k. Now, December, economy was getting to like 400k. 400, almost 500,000. And it's just like, what is going on? Is everything all right? So these are dire things. And just because it hasn't happened to you yet, it doesn't mean you're living a comfortable life. It does not mean that you're living a comfortable life. You see people lose their life unnecessarily. They're looking for blood. And you just watch your loved one lose life because there's a lack of blood bank. There is no ambulance. I was covering the story. It's a documentary episode that will be coming out shortly on this, podcast. Maternal mortality. This woman lost her baby. On her antenatal card, they gave her the number of an ambulance that she can call. And when she called for the ambulance, hours upon hours, no picking. It was later found out that the driver of the ambulance wasn't even staying in the vicinity where the hospital is in. He was staying miles away from the hospital. And the ambulance that the government, the state government said was provided for the primary healthcare center. Why is it miles away from the hospital? Why is there no light in a hospital where a child should be delivered? She bled. They turned her away from that hospital, and she had to trek, bleeding, with her husband, bleeding on the road. Trekked for close to 50 minutes. 30 minutes. Went to different hospitals. She was turned away until the final one that accepted her, and they accepted her, and boom, her baby was no longer alive. And it was a big, testimony that she herself was also alive, because she lost a lot of blood, and one of the leading causes of maternal mortality in Nigeria is hemorrhage. So imagine saying that these things does not concern you. Is it until it happens to you then it would matter to you? A lot of girls don't have access to menstrual pads. because it's expensive. And because of how expensive these menstrual pads are, they result to, prostitution. They can be sexually abused because they need money to buy pads. And I'm talking about girls of like 15, 16. Your education, you started school at 20. There's a big possibility that you'll be finishing from school at 30 because of strikes, because, the federal government is not paying teachers. You need to be concerned about these things. You need to let it bother you. Let it make you angry, and let that anger make you want to do something. I think we should no longer, wear the crown of the most to suffer, the best in suffering. Let's get tired of the suffering. We need to do again. We need to try again. There's a reason why politicians are not comfortable. There's a reason why they campaign. There's a reason why they spend money. There's a reason why they are giving people rice. There's a reason why vote buying is there. There's a reason why they send thugs. Because those are the votes that they will count. The things that were submitted, that's what they will count. So you need to turn out. Exercise that civic responsibility. And the good thing about it is it doesn't even waste your time. I voted for the first time in Anambra State. And now I'm in Kaduna State. I need to change my polling unit. I did that online. cvr.inecnigeria.org. I did it online. And it was seamless. I'm just waiting for approval now. I'm waiting for, an email from them. You can also register online. Right? Register online. Get your appointment date. Walk into any local government that has, where there is INEC office there, and get on with doing your biometrics, and it doesn't take up to 20 minutes when there's network issues. But if the network is there, it shouldn't take up to 20 minutes. Let's be really concerned about these things. And you can also track your applications too online. You can do that. I'm looking at mine now. You can request for a transfer, apply for a card replacement, or even update your information. You can do all of that through the website. It does not take time. There is nothing stressful about it. If you can give time to other parts of your life, if you can talk to that girl or that boy for 3 hours, if you can, be in your job 9 to 5, if you can do all of that, you can give time to getting your permanent voter's card, to registering and collecting your PVC, and on the day of election, going out to vote. It doesn't count. Try first. They are banking on your apathy. They are banking on you saying those things. They are banking on it. So don't feed them with that. I love Twitter a lot now, because any little scroll is go and get your PVC, and you see people breaking down the steps on getting PVC. Some people say, "Oh, Tinubu is the one coming back." Just get your PVC and vote first. Let's pray for the country. Yes, let's pray. I am praying for this country too. But you need to get your PVC while you're praying. You need to call out the government while you're praying, because Jesus called out the government of his days. A lot of prophets in the Bible spoke up about bad governance and the evil that was going on in politics back then. It's there in the Bible. So let your holiness also drive you into irritation for evil. Let your holiness drive you to irritation for evil and the subjugation of humanity. Let it drive you there. You have been given a right. Exercise it. I also want us to come together as a collective, as a community, to knowing that Nigeria is our country. Nigeria is our own. Nigeria is for us, right? On the day of voting or anything, How many thugs can actually do stuff to us if we all come together and defend each other and defend our, ballot boxes? We need to be at alert. We need to, have this ownership mindset. Because when we own something, we will not allow thieves or, evil people take it from us. We'll fight for it. So let your fighting be getting, registering for your PVC, collecting it and voting. Let that be your fight. Let that be your contribution. It's gonna be all right. We'll be fine. That's one thing I know for sure. And yeah, I'm rooting for you, okay?